I'm about to show you right now. This is like a simple variance calculator on this site, PokerDope, and I wanted to just show you like the sort of impact of variance on life in general. So imagine there's like two guys who are best pals, and they both set off playing whatever, 50 zoom, 100 zoom, and one of them runs pretty good and one of them runs pretty bad. They play 100,000 hands. That's a shitload. Like 50,000 hands a month is like decent volume. So yeah, they play a lot and they're exactly as good as each other. Like literally exactly as good. This is only 20 samples. It's not even that much. Just imagine that one of them runs middle of the road good and he wins 6.1 BB. So that one is, and this guy runs bad and he loses at 5.4 BB. It would be like so standard for the friend who ran good, or like this blue line guy here who ran really good, won at 15 BB almost, to like offer to coach his buddy, this brown line guy here who lost at 7.7 BB. Like, this blue guy would probably move up. In fact, he would inevitably move up. You wouldn't be able to win 140 buy-ins in a month and not move up. While this guy would move down. He'd probably bust his roll, like 76 buy-ins. Like that's so many. This guy would be absolutely broken, I imagine. Yeah, that's like really quite intense. And then like you could be any one of these guys. Imagine now that like one of them makes some changes, gets into pile solver or whatever, like makes all these changes and it increases the win rate by 2 whole BB. That's like so substantial. This, I was talking about the check raise versus delay spot earlier. If that added 0.1 BB to anyone's win rate, I'd be absolutely stunned. But like this guy makes all these changes, introduces all these new raise lines, 3-bets and blah blah whatever else, finds all these ways to improve such that his win rate increases to 5 BB. Say it's this guy, in fact, this guy who's run really well. At the expense of variance. A lot of improvements people make now are at the expense of variance. They increase your standard deviation, which is like how to actually measure variance as opposed to just swinginess. And yeah, he plays another month, and instead of running really good, he runs kind of middle of the road, slightly bad, and he only wins at 1.6 BB. It would be super logical for him to just go, oh well, last month I won at whatever 10 BB, and this month I only won at 1 BB after making all these changes. Do you know what? These changes don't work, and you could justify that in any kind of way. I'm fighting for pots too much, or these guys don't fold, or these guys fold too much to make these thin value bets, or whatever. You could say all sorts of words to yourself to justify why your change didn't work. So he'd go back to the way he was playing and now say he runs bad and he loses 20 stacks in a month, and like where does this guy go from here? He's made some changes, they've quote unquote not worked over a huge sample of 100,000 hands, and then he's gone back to how it was, and guess what? That doesn't work anymore. Like, you can see how the incredible variance of playing poker hands would just inevitably confuse people and misdirect them and lead them to taking all these actions that aren't in their best interests. So yeah, I wanted to talk about like your attitude, which like sounds kind of patronizing to say, but like attitude is the most important thing in anything. And I think what's important is to have kind of 2 modes of thinking. When you're trying to get better at playing poker, you need to assume that you've run good to get to this point. And probably everyone watching this video, whether they believe it or not, has run good to get to this point. Everyone was a whale when they started playing poker. I was a whale, you were a whale. Like, everyone's got funny stories of like the superstitions they used to have, or the things they used to believe about how to play poker, the things they used to do, you know. And yet somehow you made it. When it was me, I think I made like 2 or 3 deposits of $10 a go, and eventually I won a $2 sit and go, like a 180-man sit and go or whatever, for like $180. And it was like, I knew about bankroll management. Just after that I learned about bankroll management, and that was it. I kind of never had to deposit again. Like, that was like an intense moment of run good. Even before that, when I first played poker around the kitchen table with my buddies when I was in high school, I used to win like quite a lot. Maybe like half the time I used to just win. And I often think, if I just lost, which, like, you know, could have easily happened, even if I was somehow the best, you know, the most naturally adept at playing poker, I probably would have just been like, yeah, I don't like playing poker, I'm just gonna, you know, do something else. And like, I wouldn't be here now if I hadn't, you know, ran good in like some home game years ago. So yeah, I think everyone, it's like a really, really pervasive thing that everyone believes they've run badly, where every professional player, if you looked objectively, has ran good at some point very early in their career, or else they just wouldn't be here. It's kind of a self-selecting thing, that the people who run bad early are just like, oh, poker's rigged, or like, to think just because you know better than that now doesn't mean you're always in a position to make that that kind of logical step. So yeah, believe that you've run good to this point. When you're trying to get better, you need to be paranoid. You need to be constantly questioning whether what you think is objective truth. But obviously when you're playing, you need to be confident in what you're doing. So when you're playing, you can kind of believe that you've run bad so far, and that this pot really has to be yours. I find that a more confident view when you're playing definitely works better. But yeah, constantly reevaluate your beliefs. All we're trying to do with all this improvement stuff is increase our bottom line at the end of the month. You can do that by playing more hands, playing in better games, bringing a higher level of performance to the table. You know, whether that's like a good performance or a bad performance. Improving either one of those is like a game. So yeah, the results are everything. The bottom line at the end of the day is everything, but looking at your results as a measure of your results is a very poor mode of trying to do this. So yeah, next time we're going to be talking about tilt, which feels like a kind of 2009 term, but yeah, we're going to be looking at all the sort of ways that your biological brain, your physiology, can kind of trick yourself into not thinking as well as you can think, and kind of hijacking your performance. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you find it useful. Take care.